everyone, this is your part 1 preliminary discussion for the subject Cybercrime Investigation and Environmental Loss Protection. We'll be discussing the chapter 1 for this subject. So I am giving credits to Dr. Joseph A. Pensotes, our former um, Dean of the College of Criminal Justice Education here in Summer College, and this file was from him. Yes, and I please bear with me if you are going to hear some noises kasi my microphone has no noise cancellation. So, uh, please ano na lang, understand na lang na may sisigaw talaga, may tilaok ng manok, may boses ng bata, and so on. So, as long as I am clear, as long as my voice is clear with you, I'll keep going. And if you have any question or meron kayong hindi naintindihan, just comment down or i-message nyo ako sa ating group chat. Okay? So, first, what is technology? So, as by definition, as per kung na-discuss ko na ito sa inyo, ito yung application of scientific knowledge to practical human life and the manipulation of the human environment. Galing ito sa Greek word na techne, na ibig sabihin art, skill, or craft, and logos, or word or discourse. Okay. The importance of technology is that it facilitates efficiency in daily tasks. Kasi efficiency, pinapadali nito yung mga ginagawa natin sa pang-araw-araw. It helps in knowledge accumulation and transmission. Yes, for example, sa mga assignments, sa mga research nyo, gamit na gamit ang technology. Tinutulungan tayo makag-accumulate, makakuha ng mga knowledge sa internet or sa digital space. It is also used in production and services, of course. As in most example of this is kung mass production yung ginagawa, like sa mga pabrika, they are using technology in order to uh, produce a lot of or mass product. And it aims to meet human needs and desire. Kasi yung tao, maraming needs, maraming desire. So, isa sa needs ng tao is to communicate sa ibang tao na nasa malayong lugar in a, in a short span of time. Like, magna-message ka lang sa messenger, marireceive na agad nila yung message, na unlike before, na hindi pa ganon ka-high-tech yung technology na ginagamitan pa natin, nagpapadala tayo ng letter, a post office, and then months after bago ma-receive. Pero the use of technology now, in this generation, madali na makipag-communicate with other people. There are types of technology. We have the mechanical technology, the energy technology, industrial technology, medical, transportation, and ICT. Sa mechanical, and energy, yung mga technology na ginagamitan. Sa mechanical, for example, yung bike, diba, yung motor. Hindi mabubuo yung isang or isang bagay na walang ibang parts. For example, kung naning bicycle is kalidayla, tapos warahiyaan pedal, warahiyaan manubela, diri matatawag na technology, diri matatawag na bugos or diriya functioning if waray ibang parts. So in order for something to work, it has to have its part na tirempo para maging mechanical hiya. Energy naman, for example dito yung solar energy, from yung sunlight. Yun. Industrial naman, ito yung mga technology na ginagamit sa mga mass production such as sa mga pabrika. Sa medical technology, fourth year, alam niyo na to, yung mga ECG, mga blood typing, DNA, and so on. Sa forensic, yan din ang ginagamit. Transportation, ito yung airplanes, yung mga technology na ginagamit sa transportation, airplanes, sa tren, ano pa, sa dagat, sa mga barko. Yes. And sa ICT, Information Communication Technology, dito na po fall yung mga pagkuha natin ng mga information or communication communicating with other people. So sa digital environment, it is defined by Koutsanis of 2018 as a technology-enabled spaces. For example, ng digital environment ay yung website, yung mga mobile apps, yung social media. Ang impact nito is that it forms digital footprints that enables global connectivity. When we say digital footprints, ito lang naman guys yung mga everything that you do on the internet, in the internet, lahat ng ginagawa niyo, nagpo-post, nag-TikTok, nagno-note, nag-story, kahit ano pang ginagawa niyo, nagsisearch ng kung ano-ano, it leaves a digital footprint. Kahit i-delete nyo pa, kahit i-erase nyo pa, lahat ng search history nyo, nandun na yan, yung footprints na sinearch nyo. Yun yung tinatawag na digital footprints. So, digital immigrants versus digital natives. Sa digital immigrants, these are people na hindi pa sila, these are people na nabuhay or mga tao na hindi pa ganun knowledgeable when it comes to technology or internet. Sa digital natives naman, ito yung mga tao na as early as young age, like for example, sa generation ngayon, mga bata ngayon na as early as 1 year old, 2 years old, they are already exposed to internet, they are exposed to gadget, they are exposed to YouTube and other social media platforms na unlike yung before na 10 years old ka, di ka pa marunong mag-cellphone. 11, 6, 12, 13, as just katulad ko, na-introduce sa akin or na-expose ako sa gadget or technology when I was 16. So, I would consider myself as a digital immigrant. So, magiging digital native ka lang, depending on how early you were exposed to the technology or social media or any other digital or gadgets. Kasi not necessarily kung kailan ka pinanganak, not necessarily kung kailan ka kailan ka napanganak, kailan umusbong ng technology. Yung usapan is kung kailan ka nakadepende to, kung kailan ka na-expose or kailan na-introduce sa'yo, kailan mo nagamit yung technology. Kaya sa akin nga, sa case ko nga, 16 years old. Kaya tatawag ko yung sarili ko na immigrant. Pero yung mga bata ngayon na may cellphone, tablet, and has exposed to social media as early as the young age, they are digital natives na. So, digital environment as a two-edged sword. Kasi, it offers great benefits but also present risk. So, yung kabila is good side, mga good, magagandang effects, and the other are the disadvantages. So, let's proceed with what is cybercrime. So, cybercrime definition and classification according to Kaspersky for 2023, it is the criminal activities involving computers and networks. Lahat ng activities that is criminal in nature na ginagamitan ng computer and networks is called cybercrime. So, there are classification ng cybercrime. May cyber-dependent, cyber-enabled, and cyber-assisted. When we say cyber-dependent, ito yung example nito yung hacking, malware, DDoS attack. Cyber-dependent kasi hindi maisa sa katuparan ang isang krimen kung wala ang technology. Kaya ng hacking, di mo naman ma-hack yung account ng isang tao kung hindi ka gagamit ng cellphone, ng computer. Diba? Kaya naging cyber-dependent. Nagiging dependent sa technology ang isang crime kaya tinatawag itong cyber-dependent. Cyber-enabled naman katulad ng fraud, cyber-stalking, and cyber-identity. Nagagawa ang isang crime because or na-enable or because of the technology. For example, yung fraud, yung pangloloko, online fraud. Okay? Hindi magiging online fraud, hindi ka maluloko ng ibang tao, ng jowa mo, kung hindi kayo nagko-communicate via computer or gadgets or technology. Hindi mo mai-stalk yung isang tao kung wala, I mean, kung wala kang, wala kang technology, wala kang cellphone. Kung stalking lang na stalking lang, pero hindi siya matatawag na cyber kung wala kang ginamit na technology. That is why, yung simple crime na ginamitan mo ng technology or ng computer or cellphone can now be called cyber stalking or cyber libel, cyber defamation, or online fraud. Okay? So, yung cyber-assisted naman, ito yung mga crime na nagagawa naman siya in a physical environment, pero hindi siya ma-accomplish kung wala yung computer. For example, with for example na lang sa child pornography. Yung pornography, yung bata is na-exploit sa ganung gawain, sa ganung crime. Maybe kung sino yung nag-exploit sa kanya. Pero, yung mismong video or photo cannot be transferred with other people kung hindi gagamitan, kung walang assist ng computer. So, with the use of computer or internet or network, nagkakaroon siya ng ability para ma-share sa ibang tao or para maibenta yung video or photo ng bata na na-exploit. Kaya tinawag siyang cyber-assisted. Okay? So, those are the three classification, and the cyber-enabled, cyber-dependent, and cyber-assisted. So, cybercrime categories, we have the 4 categories. Cyber trespass. Ito yung unauthorized. Ibig sabihin, hindi pinayagan or walang authorization na pag-access. Example daw, hacking and data breaches. Pangalawa, cyber deception and thief. Ito yung fraudulent activities. Ito yung pangloloko on the internet. Cyber porn and obscenity. These are the online distribution of explicit content. Yung mga content na ginagawa via online. Yes. Cyber violence, ito naman yung online harassment, online threats, and exploitations. Okay? Next is hacking. Hacking is the act of breaking into or manipulating computer systems, networks, or devices. Some hackers do this legally to improve security, while others do it for illegal or harmful reasons. So, merong mga tao na nangahack for good, meron namang tao na nangahack for bad intentions. So, nakadepende sa intention. So, there are good practices and bad practices in hacking. So, the good practices, meron tayo ditong white hacker. Ito yung mga hacker na authorized or certified na hacker na nagtatrabaho sa government and companies para ma-ensure na protected ang kanilang companies from malicious cyber attacks. Okay? So, hindi lahat ng hacker ay masasama. Depende lang sa intention nila. We have here also the red hacker. Sila yung mga authorized din sila na hacker, but they specifically work for the government, and their main objective is to identify black hacker, cyber terrorists, hacktivists, and whistleblowers, and state nation hackers. So, pinagkaiba lang nila is si white hacker, pwede siyang magtrabaho sa government, pwede rin siya sa mga company. Pero si red hacker, solely nagtatrabaho lang siya for the government only. Si blue hacker naman, much alike lang siya sa white hacker, pero they are outsourced by firms and working for companies for security testing of their storage right before the product launch. So, si blue hacker, parang kapareho lang din siya ng white hacker, pero ina-outsource sila. So, nagtatrabaho sila sa government, pero pwede rin silang magtrabaho na outside the government. Pareho din ng white hacker. Si green hacker naman, mga amateur sa mga hacking, pero hindi sila kapareho ng script kiddies. They care about hacking, but to strive They care about hacking and strive to become white hackers. And their purpose and their goal is to become white hackers. Nation-sponsored hacker. Ito yung mga hackers na appointed ng government para mag-provide sa kanila ng cybersecurity, mag-gain ng confidential information from the other countries, and to stay at the top to avoid any kind of danger to the countries. So they are highly paid government workers. Si black hacker naman, these are the black practices. So si black hacker, nare-reach yung, they reach unauthorized access in companies. Sila yung, basta yung mga masasamang gagawin sa mga datas, sila yun. Nation-state hacker, they attack political, business, technological reason. Cyber terrorist, from the word itself, nagte-terror sila, nananakot, disrupt services, causing fear, and their main motivation are for political, religious, ideological, and social factors. So, si malicious insider whistleblower, an employee of a company or government agency with a grudge or parang gusto lang niya, nagiging whistleblower siya kasi parang gusto niyang makaganti, gano'n. Parang gusto niyang may galit siya sa former employer niya, para makaganti siya, hinahack niya. Okay? Ganun yung malicious insider or whistleblower. Si hacktivist naman, hacker siya or group ng mga hacker na nagiging ng unauthorized access sa government's computer files and networks for further social and political ends. So, si hacktivist, yan, tawag dito, for political and social ends. Yung purpose nila kung bakit sila nang hack. Si Gray, hindi sila legal authorized hacker. Kumbaga, kung mga legal hackers yung nandito, dito sa baba is mga illegal hackers to. Basta natin they work with both good and bad intention, but they can use their skill for personal gain. Sa script kiddies naman, ito yung novice hacker who uses script or downloads tools available to attack computer system and networks and deface website. Ang pinaka-purpose lang niya is to impress yung mga kaibigan and society. Yun lang yung pinaka-main goal ni script kiddies, maghambog.